Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on YouTube.com with me, Stuttering Craig. I like movies that have sand in them. Wow.
He doesn't like it in his mouth.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
I don't like the texture in my mouth.
What? And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the number one gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv and everywhere else on God's green earth. What is going on, everybody? I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the number one video game and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. Happy Monday to you. It's Side Scrollers. Here we are, ready to go. It is Monday. It is a glorious Monday. And as you can tell, the Texas Rangers had defeated the evil Arizona Diamondbacks. And it is pay-up day for our buddy Razor Fist. Here we are. I am Texas Rangered out. Let's go! But first, let's introduce somebody who really doesn't give a crap about it. It's Blabs. Hi.
Are you talking about football or basketball? Or is it baseball?
Talking about water polo, Blabs.
Oh, okay, carry on.
It's very important stuff. How are you? How was your weekend?
I'm good. It was great. I really unplugged and was like, bye, internet.
Good for you.
Nice.
Good for you. Yeah, slap that internet to half court.
You need to do it sometimes.
Oh, I try, but you know when your life revolves around it, it's very hard. But yes, it is important to do that in times. But now let's introduce. It is Monday. 1 week ago, on this very show, a wager was made, Blabs, between myself and Razor Fist, where if the Arizona Diamondbacks were to win the World Series of Baseball.
Oh, so not water polo.
No. The World Series of Baseball. That I would have to wear a snakeskin cowboy hat. But alas, just 3 short games later, the Texas Rangers reign supreme and are World Series champions. So thus, our friend Razor Fist is joining us with sweet, sweet cowboy hat on today. Hello, friend.
Live from the frontier, partner.
Looking sharp, man.
I had a little 5 o'clock shadow going, but I actually can't tolerate it. I went ahead and shaved it off. I was gonna go full spaghetti western. I don't do anything halfway, including making an ass of myself. But on this occasion, I made an exception. I hate it.
Man, you know, I had to shave my face to go as you for Halloween, and my kids were like, "What did you do?" They were so mad at me. So mad.
Reverse.
It was weird. It was very weird. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, you look
and people, today. You know, when you say you hate beards, you always get, "Oh, you're mad you can't grow one." Like, bitch, I fucking wish. If I don't shave for an afternoon, I look like James Garfield. Like,
oh yeah,
Jesus, no, it's ridiculous.
So that's the thing is, I shaved on Tuesday morning last week, and this is all I have since then. Like, this is it. It takes. I'm like, and I'm trying, but it's not working out very well. So,
well, it's time to round them up. I think we need the Bonanza theme at some point. Maybe Gunsmoke. Let's get it going.
You know, listen, we need to have an entire Western episode maybe one day. Oh, shoot, Blabs. You know what? Hold on.
Nope.
I was waiting for him to remember, but
got my Razor aviators on here today, which is good. This is all part of the cost.
We're home on the rage here today.
We'll say it one more time. Home on the rage.
Yes.
Did you see Rage Against the Machine?
That's the title of the episode, I think.
Did you see Rage Against the Machine went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this weekend?
Worse have gone in.
Well, it was. I mean, there's obviously a lot of irony with them being Rage Against the Machine, but still, doing everything they can for said machine, which was great.
Oh
My
yeah,
favorite-
they're Rage Against the ATM machine at this point.
Well, I'll tell you what. I saw immense irony of is it Tom Morello? Is that his name? Tom Morello? He's like he has his music Hall of Fame thing. He's got his trophy and he's taking this picture and he's like, "Rah!" While he's standing in front of a Disney logo on the background. So
there it is.
Yeah, pretty great stuff.
There it is, dude.
Pretty great stuff. Well, look, we got a great show today. We got so much to get into. I want to remind you guys, we are live over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. We are closing in on 4,000 followers, which is spectacular. We have a Twitter account at SidescrollerPod. We encourage you guys to hit the follow button over there. And we have an Instagram, don't we, Blabs?
Yes, we do. We're going in almost at 700 when I looked this morning. So
Nice.
Follow us on Instagram or else.
Excellent.
It's going to hurt you.
I will bust your ass.
Oh, we're literally 2 away now. 698.
There we go. Or else. We ran up a posse.
Yeah. Did you just pull up a firearm? Was that a gun?
Yeah.
It was a fake. It was a prop.
You hear that, YouTube? It was a fake.
Yeah, it's got one of those orange things on it. Don't worry about it.
You can't tell in monochromatic. That's the thing. That's the beautiful of it.
Exactly. I mean, it's a prop.
Yeah, it's a prop. Yeah. I was a little bummed today because I totally forgot. I have a custom intro for you next week, which was not done today. It's pretty much a regular intro, but it says today with Razor Fist, and then you say something really silly and fun, and we'll have that for you next week.
I'm sure there's no swearing in whatever I say.
No swearing at all. It's all really good stuff. So we'll have that next week, which is great. But I would also like to remind everybody to hit the subscribe button as we have flown past 53,000 subscribers. Do us a favor, hit the subscribe button and join the side of the video game and entertainment space with just a little bit of common sense, because that is what we do here. Also, hit the thumbs up button or the like button, whichever you want to call it, and we'd greatly appreciate it. As we try to get to 300 thumbs up every single episode, and we also try to get to about 20 memberships every single show. This week, we got a great week of programming, including tomorrow. We're going to have RGT85 on, and we've had him on before, but tomorrow's going to be a one-on-one interview with RGT, which is going to be really great. So we have 2 interviews this week, one on Tuesday, and then on Thursday, I'll have Nick Rekieta on. First time he'll be on the show in a one-on-one interview, that type of setting. So I'm looking forward to having that conversation with him as well. So
he's a great dude. I've been on his podcast many a time.
Oh, good. Should I ask him anything in particular?
No. I talk to him with some regularity. He's a great dude.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I'll ask him, like, freaking, is his mouth watering to the point of being Niagara Falls at the thought of getting to cover all of the Trump trials, for Christ's sake?
My channel's going to blow up.
Seriously, that's what put his channel over the top, was Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, right? Now he gets, like, every day for the next year, he gets Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, but it's the president.
Yeah, I mean, what a gold mine for him, man.
Seriously, dude, he's gonna be rubbing his hands. Holy.
Good for him. Good for him. Well, we'll talk about. It's a great question. I'll definitely talk to him about that on Thursday for sure. And people go like we had Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers on, and we talked about he's a big Trump lover, and we posted that clip online. People were like, "I thought you were a gaming podcast. This is gaming. I thought you were," and it's like,
yeah, tell that to the writers of games.
Right. By the way,
Sweet Baby Inc.
Yeah, did you see the whole Sweet Baby Inc. thing?
I did. I think that was fascinating. I didn't know anything about that, but it makes a lot of sense. I imagine if you checked their financials, that they're probably in some way connected to an ESG fund or something. I would imagine.
Unfortunately, we can't find that.
Yeah.
At least maybe we have to do more digging about the black market.
Did you see the Twitter post, or did you see our video about it?
I saw a little bit of your video.
Yeah, so we broke it up into 3 parts, which I encourage everybody to go check out all 3 parts. Obviously, the first part's the most viewed, but go watch. It'll take about 45 minutes to watch. You can watch it in double time because we speak slowly, but so you can watch it about 20 minutes or so. But go watch those. I think you'll enjoy it, and it's really telling to really kind of dig into why your games are the way they are today. And big ups to Melee Games for kind of bringing that to our attentions. And Dude over on Rumble really pointed it our way as well. So
nice.
Big ups. I have some news for you guys before we get into everything we need to talk about. It's actually my personal hard news today. I wanted to share with you guys this. I did something for the first time today that I would love to get your feedback on. Today, for the first time in my life, I tried coffee.
What?
What?
I tried
you went
coffee.
this long without
How old
ever
are you now?
trying?
42?
42 years old. And my wife has this, it's called cold brew, I guess. It's like where it's in the refrigerator and you do like a 1-in-1 mixture, right?
Uh-huh.
And I have never had a cup of coffee before. Never had any interest in having coffee. Honestly, it smells pretty gross. I don't know. It's never
It
been my thing.
does?
I mean, I don't know. It just never really got.
It must be like me with pot. It just smells. It's terrible, terrible smell. But
You don't
anyway,
like the marijuana?
right.
So I did a 1-in-1. I did about 4 ounces of the cold brew, 4 ounces of water, which is what it told me to do. And this was kind of a secret. I kept it to myself. I was like, I'm going to try this.
Maybe you should have kept it to yourself longer.
Well, let me tell you, I got 3 sips in, and I couldn't do it.
Oh my god!
I just couldn't do it. I
Listen,
tried.
You're drinking the shitty American coffee. That's why.
I don't know. My wife
I'm sending
have
you,
that
I'm sending you
cowboy
real
coffee.
stuff. I'm gonna send you real stuff. It's okay.
Okay. I mean,
we gotta get you out on the trail on a cattle drive, and we gotta get you some cowboy coffee. Is what we got to do.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I've had coffee ice cream. Didn't really like it.
Right.
I've been in like coffee shops, and it smells better than it did 15 years ago. I think that was why I was like, maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'm starting to like it.
Yeah.
But I tried it today, and I just couldn't do it.
I imagine it's kind of like when people are like, "You don't like alcohol, right?" Because I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of that. You don't like alcohol? Well, you should have a wallaby darned. And it's like, what's that?
What's
What
that?
exactly is that? It's like, well, it's lime juice and pineapple juice, and there's Sprite in it and whatever, and then there's vodka. And it's like, that sounds amazing, except for the vodka. Shit.
Right. Everything
Give
about
me
that
that.
sounds really good.
Right, listen, Craig. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna have Lavazza coffee. That's from Italy.
Uh-huh.
It's ground, so you have to have a machine to grind it up and everything. But it's good stuff. I'm sorry, European coffee, 10 times better than any of this American, Canadian, Guamish crap. Okay.
I listen. I don't know. I'm just going off what I was offered. What I was
European came after the coffee. I thought,
yeah. I don't know. I thought. I don't know how
It took me a second what you're saying. Like, what?
finally got it.
It's a urine joke. Got it.
Oh, pee.
Oh, you.
You know, Blabs, let's get a poll in the chat, because I feel like I'm definitely in the minority here when it comes to
you are.
coffee, right? But the question is, let's do how many cups of coffee do you drink on a day-to-day basis for our
I don't
chat?
even drink a cup of coffee. I have a little espresso one like that.
We'll do like 0 options, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 3 plus, right? Because some people like are on it. Because my thought was, you know, I'm trying to it's very hard to get your diet under control, and I'm trying to fast a little more and not eat as much. And this guy was like, well, if you drink coffee, it's, you know, just keep you going throughout the day. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll try it now. And
It's good for a pre-workout too, if it's not too gross and filled with sugar and whatnot.
Well, it's also healthier than your shitty monster drinks, your Red Bulls and all that other stuff.
I'm drinking the Gatorade Fast Twitch today.
Gatorade is only for when you're actually doing exercise or you need electrolytes because you're sick. Not for drinking it on the go. You're poisoning your body, Craig.
Well, this is it's designed to be an energy drink.
Thank you, Blossom.
I know.
Good.
Anyways.
I don't drink a lot of stuff. I drink mostly water.
Blabs is turning into Lisa Simpson on us.
No,
guys.
I do drink my Fireball though, so I'm sorry. I disagree with you there.
Hey, what a tie-in, because we are going to be talking about the Simpsons today. We got a lot to talk about. We got MrBeast being canceled again, Fortnite destroying everything. We have Miles Morales and Spider-Man, and the takeover has begun, as well as Sega making a promise or making a bold statement about Sonic's
to go
future.
where they've never gone before.
Yeah, I mean, truly. But before we get into that, one more thing. I have an idea for a segment that I'd like to do with you guys leading up to Christmas. Because look, we're past Halloween. We are now, when you go out to any sort of big box retailer, it is like, just forget about Thanksgiving. They just throw it out. It's all Christmas. You got Christmas music playing. You got red, green, and white all over the place, and they are shoving it down your throat at this point. So much so that I would like to introduce a brand new segment starting today called I'm Dreaming of a Woke Christmas.
How autistic are they? Like
I'm gonna make a full intro here. Full intro for this.
Oh my God.
But I was at.
Are you gonna beat your wife and daughter too, just to get that Bing Crosby thing going? No,
no. I'll bypass that. But my wife did. She was the one who raised the awareness of this. Put the signal up with a simple text back to me saying, "Have we gone too far?" This was at Target, and I'd just like to get your natural reactions to this. Do you see what we're looking at here?
Is that Santa Claus in a wheelchair?
This is a black Santa in a wheelchair
Oh my God.
at Target.
He delivers child support checks to good little girls and boys. I mean,
And it was $3 because it
$3
looks like crap made
for a black wheelchair Santa. You know what the irony of all that is that there was no white Santa in a wheelchair, which it's not very
racist
inclusive.
and ableist. You know what? That black Santa Claus is for that black girl spray painted in Spider-Man 2 who's also deaf and a lesbian.
Right.
That's for her.
As I walked through Target, because I had to see it for myself. As I walked through Target, I saw multiple examples of this. So make sure you join us next week when we return for I'm Dreaming of a Woke Christmas.
So
which is-
I don't get it. I thought Kwanzaa was the thing, right? You're supposed to have Kwanzaa. What do you need a black Santa for?
I don't. That's a really great question, and
When
I
you
don't
have like, what does Kwanzaa have? Is like the Kwanzaa bunny, or what the fuck is it?
The Kwanzaa bunny.
The Kwanzaa cougar. Let's invent a mascot for Kwanzaa. Let's workshop this.
Listen,
people.
when the
Let's do
poll
it.
ends, I'll put another poll up for
Right.
Kwanzaa.
I mean, there's a really, really great questions from you. Me in the movie says, do the ranger pull around his wheelchair or something? Like, these are all wonderful things that we don't know. And how is Santa supposed to go down the chimney in his wheelchair? Like, I don't.
Through the escalator, duh.
Right. How's he supposed to go down a chimney in Section 8 housing? They don't have chimneys.
Oh my goodness. But anyways, thank you to Target for this wonderful black Santa in a wheelchair who's going to deliver all his once again, really, really, really small market for this. Yeah. But somehow they're still on the shelves. They're not just flying off the shelves. I don't know.
Weird. We should get Dan Vast to sing a jingle.
Mine wasn't good enough?
No, shit. I'm going to ask him to do it.
Love it. All right, man, that's good stuff. All right, a lot of good stuff. Let's get going on some of these super chats before we get into the hard news here. As Knockside came in with the 5, says, I would like to see Sonic and Mario franchise rivalry rekindled. It was stupid fun back in the day, and honestly, doesn't really negatively impact anyone. Oh, it would today. People would be so pissed. They're, it's the video game space. Alan says, got number 3 on a 1992 Super Mario Brothers pinball machine at local vintage game store. By the way, you guys stream early. Good thing I have my Middle East coffee. Almost feels like I'm on coke and makes me shit. Okay, Alan. Well, congratulations on your achievement. And
thanks for keeping us apprised of your defecation cycles.
Way to go. Zedekiah says, 2023 has been the worst year of my life so far. Here's to hoping for better times. Have y'all ever felt like nothing is going right in your lives?
Yeah.
Yes. And
Year
Zedekiah,
2020 and 2021 was
about the end of
absolute
that. About the end of that last World Series game, actually. Yeah.
that was it, huh? That was the end of it right there.
Listen, we should give him some support. It does get better. Sometimes you go like this, but then it goes like that again. Okay, so chin up.
Listen, it's been tough for everybody the last few years. All right, Zedekiah, you're gonna pull through. You're gonna do great, and just keep your head up. I promise, as low as you feel, the highs will feel just as way higher once you get there. So just keep on going.
Also,
Sandman.
meth helps.
Meth or math? Because Because like 2 + 2 is 4.
I don't think math
know.
is going to help that situation. Probably
Yeah,
math.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sandman says, "Hey Blabs, but not Craig Razor.
Fuck it.
Don't know if your book is still available. Looks like a real banger. I'm a huge Wild West fan in entertainment.
It'll be available. The initial Indiegogo is over, right? But when it launches this winter, probably early next year, but we'll see if we can slide it in at the tail end of this year. But regardless, it'll be this winter. When it launches, it'll be available through our publisher, but it'll be a separate edition, but same comic.
Nice. Antihero came in, says, "Hey Razorfist, if you ever need those German subtitles for your political opinions, I'd volunteer to write them as spicy as you want." And then I'm sure he said something. I don't even know what that said.
He said, "I caught Germanistan." So,
Deutschland is Germany.
Yeah.
Do you speak German?
No, Grüß aus Deutschland. I couldn't see it. It was something.
All right.
I'm
Miku
half
says,
German. I'm half German.
Sticks looks like a weird as a Texan. There you go. Looking sharp today. Right. Matthew came in with the $4.99, says, "Razorfish is going to have a lot to talk about in the Nashville Manifesto released by Crowder. Will we get an epic Razor rant?"
I haven't even read it yet.
Yes.
I thought I saw a little clip of or a little photograph of it released, if that's what that was. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me very much.
Yeah, it's there's a lot there, and I think we'll let you take that for your channel if you want to cover it.
Yeah.
Miku came in, says he will ask balls or no balls on Fuda on Reddit.
Oh
no. Okay, thank you, Miku. Appreciate that. Lance Corporal Hawk came in and says, "Razor, the Alice Cooper mythos was a banger, but any future rewatches will be done when it comes to other platforms. The next game review, when and which?"
Working on one as we speak. It'll be a nice quickie. I think I'm gonna do the new RoboCop game because it is titties. It is cyber titties. It's amazing, and you should play it.
Oh, you like it?
Oh, it's great.
Say it's titties. That's like, I've never heard that expression before. I'm not gonna lie.
You haven't?
No. Who goes up to someone and goes titties unless you're actually looking at titties?
Right. You don't walk past many construction sites, do you?
No, I try to avoid those.
Because, well, I mean, I've heard people say it's the tits, just not the full titties, So I'm glad we get a
breed of cat.
We've been established, yes, absolutely. But
I'm a different breed of Kwanzaa cougar. We're making this happen. We're making the Kwanzaa cougar happen. I hope you all understand.
I've made Halloweens. I've made holidays in the past, and at the end of the day, aren't all holidays pretty much just made up anyways? I mean, so like we can add and subtract whatever we want. How about we add like something to Santa to like Santa's reindeers while we're at it? Like add
what,
add
bling bling or something?
Maybe a tiger or something, like Christmas tiger, or
Tony
whatever.
the tiger,
or maybe I don't know, some sort of like emu. I don't know, it could work. Ishmaster says, "Did y'all see the Stop Oil protesters ruining gaming events? They rushed the stage at a Capcom Pro Tour event, spray painting on the monitors. I hate those bundle of sticks."
Yeah,
bundle of sticks. Are you familiar with the Stop Oil protesters? They're like the new protesters right now.
Were they ever not it? They've been doing this for a long time. But yeah, what exactly did they do?
Exactly what they said. They came on and then they stand up and look at us and whatever. And it, like, I don't understand how that furthers their cause at all.
Well, how'd they get there?
It doesn't.
What did they have a Star Trek teleporter? How the fuck did they get there? Okay, you get there in a hot air balloon. There's plenty of hot air, but I mean, Jesus Christ, you're gonna have to get there in some sort of conveyance.
Well, over the weekend or like this morning or whenever it was, 2 protesters went and broke a glass at a museum that was covering another painting. It's like, why? Then they smashed it with a hammer. It's like, what does that have to do with the oil? I don't understand. It's a painting on a museum.
Yep. No, I did see that.
That's wild.
Well, and then the one guy who glued his hand to a NASCAR track.
Yeah.
You saw that?
That's so stupid. All of them are so dumb.
I'll lose the top 2 layers of skin in the name of Mother Earth.
Right.
I gave her my skin.
Right.
Not even that. I mean, you're putting it on. Not it's like if you were to like glue it to a rock, that's one thing. But you're just gluing it to the cement on the ground. That like it's not quite the same thing.
Exactly.
Zero Vials came in and says, "Hope your day is going well, guys. Have some shekels. P.S. What's the best Castlevania game and why is it Super Castlevania 4?" You're right.
Don't ask.
Yeah, Blabs. What is the best Castlevania game?
Not the one I played.
Yeah.
Simon's Quest.
Oh yeah, you're going number 2, huh?
Nope. Lament of Innocence, maybe. I think it's underrated.
Which one was that? Was that on the GBA?
Underrated. Huh?
What, Lament of Innocence. Which one was that?
If I'm not mistaken, that's one of the 3D ones.
Is it? Okay.
I think I rented it on a lark at Blockbuster. The name has been uttered, folks. Back in the day, it was one of those swing a dead cat, land on a game you hope is good kind of things.
Oh, that's great. Blabs will never know the joy of that.
I've gone to Blockbusters 1,000 times. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this.
I don't even know. Shut up, Blabs. Moving came in says, "I'm with Craig. Coffee smell sucks. Only time I have it is when it's brewed with dark beers. Besides that, no thanks."
Beers.
Listen, speaking of coffee, I ended the poll. So
Yep.
I said, how many cups of coffee do you drink in a day? And we had 737 votes. So it was 0 was the winner, 45%, which is crazy. So
Guess
lots
I'm not
of people
that
don't
weird.
drink coffee. Maybe you all just drink horrible energy drinks that'll go boom, 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 and then poof, you die.
It'll happen. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Blabs, for that. Blake says, "It's okay, Craig. 43 years old and still no coffee. Good for you, Blake. Way to hold strong."
And you
Pop my
admit this
cherry
before
today.
witnesses. How
Alan-
long have you been affiliated with Al Qaeda?
Oh my God.
Alan says, "To be fair, after drinking coffee, your pee does stink. It's like, what's the vegetable? Is it?"
Asparagus.
Yeah.
And I know
Asparagus
because I love asparagus.
You get that certain waft of asparagus when your pee leaves your body. Blabs,
Yeah.
you ever have
Thanks for
asparagus?
the vivid description, Craig.
I like asparagus, but I'll be honest with you, I don't go and smell my pee afterwards, or I don't.
Yeah, not a
release
big piece.
things
there.
like, oh, okay, different smell today. Interesting. No, I don't do that.
You and I and Trump are clearly staying at different hotels in Russia.
All right, I'm going to get to a couple more of these larger
Right.
super chats, and we'll come back to them here in a minute because we got a lot to talk about today. Vimmer says, "Don't know if any of you care about strategy games, but did you hear about here Creative Assembly, company behind Total War Games, is creatively disassembling itself, and its fan/player base is bummed with bum greedy decisions." No, I have not heard any about this before. I don't.
Nice
even know it.
avatar.
Yeah, right.
Make it lame and gay. The Creative Assembly also made Alien Isolation, which was awesome. One of the best games in a long time. And unfortunately, after that, they did Dick worth playing.
You are correct. Yeah, they did. That was a really fun game. Wheeling Through Life with Brian says, talking about the Black Santa wheelchair, says, "Why? I understand the inclusivity, but not here." Right. This is Brian, who is in a wheelchair. It's like, what the hell is going on? But Brian, are you black?
Hey, right?
Say,
Do you have are you privilege maxing?
that's right.
I have a
Privilege, is that a
couple-
word? Privilege maxing?
It is now.
Okay.
It's on you get it on a card, a coupon card, and you gotta stamp it all out in your privilege.
Okay. Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What were
then
you
you get a
gonna say,
free sub.
I was gonna say I got a couple Rumble rants. Let me grab them before they disappear. So Kratos for $5 says the only sports Blab knows about is Quidditch. She could school Craig on that any day. Actually, I know soccer. I know figure skating. Thank you very much. Kratos comes back and says the Kwanzaa Panther, obviously, and also you can't tell from the doll, but Black Crippled Santa is also gay and neurodivergent.
Yes, yes. I'm fully
Okay.
expecting in the future we're going to walk into a Walmart and hear Happy Hallmark presents inclusive, irreligious, gender-neutral, secular festivity day. Deck the halls with boughs of soy. Fucking fuck you.
I'm clipping that. Thank you.
Oh.
All right. Good Lord. What a great start to the show. Holy shit. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Paul. All right. So, kind of interesting news over the weekend, as one of the most popular games of the year has been the Spider-Man 2 game. There was it sold bukus and bukus. It was one of the fastest selling Sony games ever. And moving forward, the writers of Spider-Man 2, who some may say were, there was the in-house writing team. Then they obviously outsourced some of it to our friends over at Sweet Baby Inc. They were they did consultation on it, but they have confirmed that moving forward, they'll be focusing not on Peter Parker, but on Miles Morales, as he is the main Spider-Man in the Insomniac universe of Spider-Men. So let's start here, Razor. Are you in the camp that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, or that Miles Morales is Spider-Man, or that they're both, or that Miles Morales is Miles Morales?
I say it's just a sign of the times. Leave it to an illegal to do a job an American doesn't want to do anymore. I'm not too over the moon about Spider-Man 2. I've seen it played, and it's shorter than a list of Movie Bob's favorite exercises. So I don't really see what the value is. People buying it, I don't get it. Plus, the first one, I reviewed it. I predicted exactly what the second game was going to be about. I was completely right, by the way. Like, I predicted lock, stock, and barrel, beat for beat, what the plot was going to be in a throwaway comment in a review from whatever it was 3 years ago, whenever I made that video. I didn't get... The first one was okay, but it was like the okayest. It's open world because it's 2020 and it's the law, whenever that came out. Was it 2019, 2020? I can't remember. Does anybody remember?
Yeah, I think it was 2019.
Something like that. And yeah, anyway, it's open world because it's the law. It's got collectibles because it's the law. It's got the side quest because it's the law. It's third person because it's the law. It's a sandbox. It's a sandbox rather because it's the law. It just seemed to check every single box that all these modern games do. That's kind of my biggest gripe about it. It was like after it was over, it was like eating cotton candy. It tastes delicious when you're eating it. Then at the end, you just realize, oh, wow, that was absolutely nothing. I just ate air for 25 minutes. Like, that's what Spider-Man was like. And Spider-Man 2 is just that, but woke. That's it.
Yeah, I actually started playing Spider-Man, the first one, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I only played it one time. I just couldn't get into it. I like the open world swinging, but everything else, I'm like...
It's there.
Yeah.
It is the most there game.
Maybe it's because I'm not really a big fan of, like, comics, and I just never really got into it as a kid, but it's just very much like, eh.
Yeah.
I'd rather go play Apex.
So... one of the quotes that came out of the article was, this is from Culture Crave over on Twitter. It says, it always felt very natural, and I think we all collectively thought it would happen. To me, it shows a great deal of evolution from Miles. I think pretty early on, we knew that we wanted to have that moment of handing the reins over. So from the start, they came in and said, hey, we're going to make this change. It's just a matter of making that transition, which this is a very big point of contention. And if you want to farm
talking transition with PS5, I'm just saying, be careful.
if you want to rage engagement, farm engagement on Twitter, just put Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Just tweet that out. And you know who does that exceptionally well is actually our buddy Yellow Flash. He'll tweet that out occasionally. And I'll DM him. He's like, it's genius. People just go crazy over this shit. So I've done it a couple times just to see what happens. And yeah, it's like all you do is you tweet it out and then you mute your thread, and then you come back and you're like, wow, 100,000 people saw this. People are so pissed about this. It's insane. It is really insane to see.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
See, I just went and tweeted it out. We'll see what happens. I'm a guinea pig.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So I went in and I was trying to find the writer on this.
So were the game designers.
Well, Brittany. Okay, so the two main writers on this are Brittany Morris and Ben Arfman, and they're the people who are the ones who are making the decisions behind it. Let me see if I can find this real quick. And
That sneeze was adorable, Blabs. That was freaking adorable.
Yeah, except you're glad I muted it because it's
So we, if you'd like to know who the two people are that are making this decision, this is thanks to Gizmodo here. He says Spider-Man 2's writers break down the game's big spoilers. Okay, so the main writers are Brittany Morris and Ben Arfman. They're talking about it as they're talking about the all this. I don't really care about the spoilers, but here's Ben Arfman, who is maybe. And I don't know Ben.
He looks like an Arfman.
he looks like
Right. He does look like an Arfman.
he looks like a
doesn't
combination of Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates had a baby.
He's a lady killer. Is really what's going on there?
Ben looks like he was picked on a lot growing up.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
just say that.
He used to live in the lockers. Let's put it
His
that way.
comb over has a comb over. It's amazing.
And then we have Brittany Morris, who is also in charge of making this decision. There's Brittany right there.
Oh, hi.
So she's
What are all those cost? Okay, so she's an author turned she's slumming in video games.
Right.
Gotcha.
And she's written all sorts of things.
He wrote
and-
Slay.
Yeah, Slay. So
Sleigh. I think we saw a different kind of sleigh earlier with the Black Santa.
But yeah, this is just one of those things where is this a product of the times, as you said? Do people actually want this? I think that's the thing. Do people actually care? And I saw in the chat somebody said, I think Verkus Game says there may not be a third game because apparently the second game has lost money. And I don't know how you sell 2.5 million copies in a week and are losing money on this game.
That's easy with the budgets. Oh,
Yeah,
you
do we
know
what
they
the budget was? Let me
You
look.
know they spent a lot. I remember when, and this is a pretty innocuous example because this game wasn't even that huge, but Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain lost money, right? A lot of money, actually. It was supposed to hit 5 million copies sold inside of 2 months or whatever, because there's kind of a window of profitability for games, right? There's a certain period of time in which you got to sell X number of copies or else, the development cycle kind of rolls over and you're funding other projects. You got to make your money back inside of a certain window. That's why big launches are a big deal, right? So Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain was supposed to hit whatever it was, 6 million units sold or whatever. Konami came out and said that in 2015, and it sold like 2.5 million, which is great, right? That's a great number. But the budget was like 200 million or something like that. I guarantee you Spider-Man 2 is at least in that neighborhood, if not north of it.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, you do the math on 3 million copies at $70 a piece. That's a pretty good chunk of change right off the bat. It's $210 million of sales. So like it'll make money for sure. It'll absolutely make money over
It'll
time.
probably make more money down the road, though. It's one of those games, right? It's gonna be one of those games it's going to continuously attract people to that platform, which is probably what Sony wants anyways, right? So even if they lose money on the game itself, they might make it, because I've definitely seen people say, I got to buy a PS5 for Spider-Man 2, which I don't know how that statement even escapes your lips, but apparently there are people who feel this way. So it might be worth it in the end.
I can't even find its budget. Did they never release
They,
that?
that's the thing about the video game industry. It drives me nuts. They don't have to announce budget, how much they
nothing.
don't even have to announce how much they sold, which is why usually if you don't hear how much something sells, it's probably bad news.
I'm glad, yeah.
Right?
Well, all we know is that moving forward, it doesn't matter how many get sold. I mean, they're definitely gonna. I mean, it's Spider-Man. There's going to be another Spider-Man game. Like, that's the reality. Whether it's Spider-Man 2 or they reboot it altogether, there will be another Spider-Man game in the future, and it will be for the PlayStation 5 and whatever. So, just get ready for it. And Miles Morales will be your lead. So, as they hand the reins over, as they say. So, all right, let's move on to our next story over here.
Was that a cowboy pun? Was that I'm on to you.
That's what she said. I was just using it. Using her words, not mine.
Right.
All right. Let's go to our next story over here. Razor, when was the last time you watched The Simpsons?
It may actually have been in a different epoch. It's entirely possible.
What's an epoch?
right? A different period of it's okay, Blabs. Well,
You could just say decade,
no,
like a normal human.
No, I think honestly, it was 22. You know, it may have been the 2004 election around
Wow.
then. It's been forever, dude. It's been
Okay.
forever. Because that's when it got insufferable, right? Simpsons would occasionally get political, always, and it always had a slant. But I feel like the 2004 election was kind of like it went full. It seemed like every other episode was Springfield legalizes pot. Springfield fucking creates an anarcho-syndicalist commune, right? Like every single episode was pointedly political, and it got tiresome after a while.
Right. Well, there was a big change that recently happened. And, you know, when you think of The Simpsons, a lot of people, they're all pretty iconic characters. You got Homer, you got Bart, you got Lisa. Lisa's kind of the insufferable one who's, you know, your social justice warrior. Marge is your typical, you know, stay-at-home mom. She's looking out for her kids. Obviously, Bart is your troublemaker, and Homer's your working class dad, right? And then you have Maggie, who's just kind of there, right? But one of the early bits on The Simpsons, it was Bart driving Homer so crazy that he go, "Why you little?" and grab him and shake his neck and choke him, and that was like a really funny bit early on.
Yeah, it's in the arcade game, isn't it? In like
It's
the opening of the game, I think it's in the like I don't know if you call it a cutscene in an arcade game, but you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure it's in that.
I think you're right. Yeah,
It's iconic. It's one of those iconic bits.
Right. I mean, there it is. It's all over the place. And Homer would grab him and shake his by the neck, and he go, "Why you little?" And it was funny. But apparently that has all come to an end, as Homer will no longer choke Bart in The Simpsons, as times have changed, Razor.
Yeah, times have changed, and you're not funny anymore. That's
I've only ever seen one episode of The Simpsons.
Who even writes this show anymore? Like, have you tried to watch it? It's just. It's the most unctuous. It's barely even there. It's complete background noise. Most of these people couldn't write a knock-knock joke on a fucking popsicle stick. And they keep going. I remember Matt Groening giving an interview years ago where he was like, the only reason The Simpsons would ever be canceled is if it was too expensive to make. Basically, he admitted, and this was like 10 years ago, if not more, where he essentially admitted we're just going to keep going until it is no longer funny in the slightest. And then it'll die because so few people will be watching that the expense to make it will be higher, right? Than the actual return on investment with selling advertising. I believe it. I completely believe it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's an American institution. You know, it's been around for 35 seasons. And that's where this whole thing came from. There's
it's
one
two
clip
shows though, dude. It hasn't really been around for 35 seasons, right? The Simpsons was around from the late 80s, whatever it was, 89, 80, whatever, till about 99 or 2000. That's about as long as it lasted. And it was really, really good from about the late 80s to 96 or so, 97 maybe, if you're stretching it.
Right.
Then there's kind of this transitional period in the late 90s, early 2000s where it's still kind of funny, but it's sort of getting very punchline set up, kind of sarcastic remarks like a modern sitcom, right? A lot of that. And then like after 2004, I would say it's just the cutoff. Everything after that, especially the Simpsons movie. Nothing after the Simpsons movie needed to exist. No, that was the finale, motherfuckers.
I agree. That was the Simpsons movie was really, I mean, when Bart is riding through the town and they do everything to, and he's naked and everything they can to cover up his junk.
God,
and then there's this one shot where you just see his little wiener go through. That's so freaking funny, man. I mean, like they would not pull that off today. There's no way they would do that today.
No,
people like, I can't.
That was their last bit of creative energy. They didn't have it after that. They might have had an episode here or there that was like, huh, you know what I mean? But nothing as gut-bustingly hilarious as early Simpsons.
So during season 5, episode 3, which aired on October 22nd recently, Homer revealed that he's finally changed his ways when he and Marge visited their new neighbor, Thayer, and introduced himself to the Springfield newcomer. Thayer comments on how firm his handshake is, and this is what happens here.
Whoa, that's quite a grip.
See, Marge, strangling the boy has paid off. Just kidding. I don't do that anymore. Times have changed.
So there you go, right there.
Such a natural line delivery.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So the people who will people are like, well, they haven't done this bit in years. It's been 3 or 4 years since they've done this bit, right? And they'll say, well, you haven't watched the show. That's the argument. It's, you haven't watched the show. How would you know? And
how would you? No one else is.
Right. I was going to say nobody else is actually watching the show. And kind of the response that you see here from a lot of people who, like this guy in particular on this tweet was saying, like, I just found out after 30 years the Simpsons finally retired their long-running gag. Took them long enough. And it's like, how this goes back to, once again, societal issues where you and I grew up watching this, right? We saw Homer strangle his son countless times.
Just the way you said strangle his son. I just love it.
Strangle.
Honestly, if he had, let's be fair, if he had strangled his son that many times, eventually we would have gotten to like season 3. Bart would have been buried under a crawl space under the garage somewhere, like at some point, right?
But at no point I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say 0 people in society ever can be like, well, Homer did it to Bart, so I'm going to do it to my son. 0 people have ever said that statement.
Right.
So it needs to be removed now because 0 people have taken offense to that.
The yellow person
Again,
strangled
but we're
his
back
kid.
to Bing Crosby now. But
That's right. Yes.
Sorry, Blabs, I interrupted you. What did you say?
No, I said the yellow person strangled his kid. Now I have to do it too.
Right. Be careful. That might be
Big
taken,
Bird did it.
Right. That might be taken as a racist remark. Be careful.
Oh God. Placing the R's and the L's.
Right.
But when you see people who are, they're so like, I went to this guy's Twitter account here who was like, finally they removed it. And you look at these guys. I mean, their Twitter account really says a lot. It says that
It does.
First thing you see is them with Minnie Mouse, and then their pinned tweet is them. There's SpongeBob stuff, and
he's like blocking the hover hand. There's a hover hand going on in that photo. There's got to be.
But it's like, I'm mad about this for some reason. People who haven't watched this show in over a decade. It shouldn't matter, that whether you watch the show or not. You haven't watched the show in over a decade because it's not good.
No shit. It's like, wait, what a self-own, for Christ's sake. Like, no shit, no one's watching it. It hasn't been entertaining in a long fucking time. The last, like, even remotely funny gag the Simpsons did was like, I don't know, 4 years ago or something. Right after Trump got elected, I guess they felt freed up by karma. They did a gag about how woke universities are. And it was funny. It was legit funny. And it's like the first and last time they've been funny in the last 20 years. Right? Because they used to punch in both directions, for Christ's sake. They didn't punch as hard in both directions, but they always punched in both directions. It was like 1994 again, kind of.
When I think for me, the thing that was really alarming was when they removed the Michael Jackson episode from the streaming services. I think Disney Plus removed it.
Really?
And that's after he's acquitted on 14 counts. Like,
well, I know Michael. Yeah, obviously, I know you've done a lot of research and all this, and
sorry, but
no, I think it's important to bring it up.
It doesn't take much to get me going on Michael Jackson, but that's the ridiculous part. It's not like, oh, he was accused, now we don't know, therefore we've got to remove these. It was like, no, he had his day in court. All of these charges were prosecuted, and he won. And then you remove his fucking what the fuck? It's just absurd.
I think the thing about that episode in particular is it's such a heartwarming episode. It is a classic Simpsons episode. And Blabs, I know you've only seen one episode, but the long and short of it is, there's a there's somebody who they're in a mental institution and they believe they're Michael Jackson, and Bart becomes close to him, and it's actually played by the guy who voiced it is actually, I believe it's actually Michael Jackson.
It is. They couldn't afford singing Michael Jackson though, so they got an impersonator to do the singing, but Michael Jackson does the talking.
But it was really interesting, the episode, and it was like a really heartwarming. It tackles like mental health and all these things, and this was long before mental health was a thing. But they removed it simply because Michael Jackson. So
that's like the beginning of cancel culture right there.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it was a result early on of allegations that, you know, so.
Yeah, this was in the heart of Me Too when that happened, I believe.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. And anyways, it goes back to The Simpsons. Like, Blabs, will you pull up the ratings, The Simpsons ratings?
For the one episode?
If you can count that low.
Just The Simpsons ratings on Fox over the last few seasons. I'd be interested to see how they're doing on a week-to-week basis if people are still watching. It's obvious it'd be impossible to compare it compared to the 90s when there wasn't a million entertainment YouTube channels and Netflix and everything.
Well, no. Rating, that's a common misconception. Total viewers would be different, but rating is a share of existing television sets and that are turned on at a given time. So this is a common misnomer when people cope about a TV show losing ratings is, oh, well, it's a different time. There's fewer people watching. Yeah, but ratings are figured from the total percentage of existing viewers. So if people are still watching your show from the existing pool of viewers, your ratings shouldn't go down. Stop writing shitty shows. Right?
Okay.
You hear this all the time.
Nice. Blabs, what do you have?
All right, so I have this bit right here. This is from ratinggraph.com. So this is season 35 is right here, all the way on the right side, blinking.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So that's where that is, and that is...
And those are good numbers for a modern show, honestly.
Yeah.
Good-ish. Good-ish.
It's amazing how long this thing's been going for. Wow, 35 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, that is honestly pretty spectacular. So, I mean, people obviously are still watching if it's getting a 6.2 share or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like who is revolving their life around The Simpsons at this point?
It's habitual viewing for some people.
Yeah,
We also have
that's
this
the thing. It's one of I remember back in the day, my friend's whole family would gather around and watch The Simpsons on Sunday. Right, it was just like a routine thing. But honestly, that down to the 6 point whatever, and that's on average. You could see the dips too. One thing I noticed there was the dips got lower. Right, the lowest points got lower.
Yikes.
Which is probably an indicator you're not heading in the right direction.
Scroll up real quick, Blabs. Okay, this is the total number of viewers per episode. This is in season 12 when the show had kind of started to dip, and there's still 15 million people watching it. And you scroll down to where it is now, and
so
it's
that
less
goes
than
to season 33. So it's not current season, I believe.
Yep.
But it goes to 2 million viewers.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, like more people
That's
are
a
watching.
huge dip.
You think of the
That's
the
like
budgets.
That's like barely above Raw, Monday Night Raw, which is setting records for low ratings right now, by the way.
Yeah. Golly, I mean, you see why viewers are just dispersed everywhere. I mean, I think of several shows online that beat those numbers on a week-to-week basis, and they're doing it with next to no budget.
Yeah.
So,
No, there are absolutely YouTube channels that pull multiples of that viewership on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, speaking of one, let's move on to our next story. Okay, so MrBeast is the number one YouTuber in the world. Yeah. He is, definitely the most personality driven, and we've had people on the show. I think Carolyn. Carolyn was actually lived right next to him when he lived in North Carolina. And, she has her thoughts on, she's actually personally dealt with him before. Mm-hmm. So she knows him. She has her thoughts on him, but I'll say this. He's had his ups and downs. I would say definitely more ups than downs over his career, but he's had people try to pull him down constantly. And that's kind of what we have here. And Razor, you've done a lot of charitable work in the past. Mm-hmm. You've dealt with missions and stuff. Did you see MrBeast's latest video from his?
No, I know he does a ton of charity stuff and giveaways and whatnot.
So in his latest video, he flew to Africa and he built 100 wells for clean water for
Wow.
different thing, different villages and such. It's a very noble cause. I watched the video. It's like the fact that they're able to get that much, like spend that much money, spend that much time recording and edit it down to a 10-minute video is amazing, right? He's gone out of his way to do this. And of course, naturally, people will be upset that he's done this.
Yeah. It's actually also he can open a MrBeast burger franchise, I think. I think I'm about the only object in the known universe that doesn't have a MrBeast franchising agreement right now, I think. Dude will put his name on anything.
Well, he has there was a story over there, not really a story, but there was a tweet over the weekend talking about how his MrBeast bars didn't sell over Halloween. But that's neither here nor there. Right. But so he went to Africa, drilled like 100 wells, and I think that's a pretty damn good thing. He also went in.
I think that's good. Michael Jackson used to do that back in the day, but he wouldn't tell anyone. A lot of his charity stuff, he would just like do it. And years later, it comes out. Right. Trump kind of does the same thing, actually, not to shatter anyone's illusions, but I think that's great. Right. Like, I remember there was one story, sorry to get slightly sidetracked, where Michael Jackson's in the middle of a tour and he has like a week, like layover or something. Like he has like a week break. And it was a really intense tour. And instead of chilling, with Lisa Marie or whatever, bumping uglies, he's like, I know, let's fly to Uganda. And he opens a burn center, like a burn ward, strikes ground on like a burn center for children, basically, like a medical facility, just for juveniles that suffer from burns. I guess that's a problem in Africa. So I love hearing stuff like that. So he just dug a bunch of wells?
Yeah, more or less. He went and he put a bunch of, he reworked some schools, provided them with resources, gave all the kids like bikes to ride around in. I mean, he spent tons of money on this, tons of money. And but naturally, people will be upset about it. And that is what we have here in the case of Albert Not Nat Hyde over on Twitter, who is apparently one of the top influencers in Africa.
Oh gosh, is he breaking up for you?
Right.
Yeah.
He's
Craig's
really upset
Craig.
about this. Let me see if I can.
And he's currently taking out Craig too. Apparently, he's really upset with him.
Okay, am I back?
You're back.
Yeah. Just slight lag spike there.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is Albert Nat Hyde over on Twitter. So he's talking about it. Says MrBeast 100 wells is disrespect to Africans. He's really upset about this.
Wow.
He described the entire Africa as a village with its people living in huts, which he does not at all in this. He projected that all Africans lack good drinking water, which once again he does not do at all. Wells in 2023 is offensive. Why not boreholes or pipe-borne waters?
I don't know. Why didn't they create a pipe system, for Christ's sake?
Right. And he actually talks about this in the video. He's like, at the very end of the video, he's like, why does a YouTuber have to do this and not the governments that can clearly help these people? I'm just going in and helping these things out,
Have you seen the AIDS numbers in Africa? I think people lay a little too much pipe in that country. But,
oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Albert says Africans do not need water donation. We ain't that poor or thirsty. Which, once again, when you look at these people who are so thrilled to have any sort of clean water, they are ecstatic. I tend to disagree. It would be great to have this guy on the show to see like how he got here.
A stork delivered him.
Yeah. This is capitalism. He want to low-key use these countries for profit. Wow. And this is the thing you hear all the time is like you mentioned like Michael Jackson used to do these deeds and never do anything get any publicity out of them, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that argument, but the argument that maybe I can inspire other people to do some good by showing people that he could have done 10 wells. Instead, he did 100 wells.
I don't hold it against him. If he had dug one well, that would have been more than most of the people criticizing him are doing. I don't have a problem with him broadcasting it. Plus, you have to keep in mind, and I don't take this perspective at all, but a lot of YouTubers are like, okay, if I go somewhere, I got to have content up on my channel somewhere, right? Like I got to keep videos going because unfortunately the YouTube algorithm punishes you if you don't have like regular content that's posted. So that's probably literally the only formulation that he's thinking. It's not so much I want to profit off of this charitable thing I've done. It's more so if I go to Africa, like what am I going to like do for actual content on my channel while I'm there? Well, the obvious solution to that is film yourself doing it. Maybe it'll inspire people to, I don't, you know, I have my criticisms of MrBeast, but I don't really buy this one.
So here's the kind of fishy thing about this. And this guy clearly is looking for engagement on Twitter as Albert Nat Hyde. When you scroll down and you look at his criticisms here, and he's like, here it is. Check out he said, if you analyze the videos below directly, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. So as you scroll down, what do you see? He's trying to...
you just say he was a messiah to Africa? That's genius.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
You will deduce that MrBeast sees himself as a messiah to Africa who's solving a 100-year problem which never existed in the first place.
Wow.
Right? This guy comes off as... You know, we have like our East and West Coast elitists here in the United States, right?
Oh, yeah.
This guy comes off as an African elitist,
right?
He? You know,
well,
like,
welcome to the modern SJW, where water in an arid nation is not a problem, but slavery still is.
Right,
like this.
But apparently, gambling is not an issue because as you scroll down on Albert's timeline, he's going to let you know that if you use his promo code and you register. Midway, this is midway through his thing. A little bit of self-promotion right in the middle of it. And he continues his thread.
Capitalism too, all at the same time, whilst promoting himself.
And then as you continue, so he continues his thread. Then guess what? Oh, by the way, join my Telegram channel for daily odds and let's cash out together. It's free to join. And as we continue on, by the way, MrBeast is bad.
Yeah. Reminds me of that. Did you ever hear Gilbert Gottfried's story about Eli Wiesel, the Holocaust survivor, on the being interviewed on like a PBS show or whatever?
No.
It reminds me of that, where he's talking to this guy and he's like, Mr. Wiesel, you endured this horrible hardship. What exactly what is the thing you wish people would take away from the horrors of the Holocaust? And he's like, well, I think the problem was too many people just stood there. They were just standing by. They didn't do anything, right? They just stood by and watched it happen. And at that exact moment, the host turns to the camera and goes, and we're going to have to ask you to stand by.
Oh, no.
It's that tasteless, right? It's that tasteless.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness. And now a word from our sponsor. No.
Yeah.
That's spectacular.
Yeah.
Man. So anyways, good on MrBeast. Look, MrBeast is not a perfect dude, but I'll say this. He is doing some good things. And there are some things, like there's this controversy of him like editing down the videos to fit a narrative and stuff. It's like, congratulations. Welcome to edited content. That is what you do. There was, I don't know, did you see that, Blabs, this past week? The idea, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, where this girl was in one of his videos and she was upset that she was edited out of like the final.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And it was all about cope.
Yeah, it was total. Yeah, it was insane. Anyways, let's move on to our next story here as we go back to the video game space. Hey, Razor.
Word.
Have you ever played Fortnite before?
Not if I have a choice.
So you've never actually given it a go?
No. Never touched it.
Well, you're the one. You like it more?
I'm the one. Seriously. I'm in a kingdom of one.
Well, Fortnite has been around for 6 years, and I've been very critical of Fortnite, specifically their strategy, especially early on. I think the first 3 years they really abused the system to allow them to capitalize on a very very broken way of delivering their games. They stayed in early access or beta for way longer than they actually needed to, and in doing so, were able to corner a market and grow their audience. But that's either here
and
nor there.
encouraged a lot of other people to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. But after 6 years, Fortnite had their biggest day ever. After 6 years, when they reverted, they changed everything back to their day one map that they had, which was a pretty nostalgic thing for a lot of people. And they drew 44.7 million players on Saturday, November 4th, and racked up 102 million hours of play, according to their post on Twitter or X. So, I mean, just the fact that 44 or 45 million players played the single game on one day.
Or 44 million times 44 times the Simpsons audience today.
Right. Right.
Jesus.
It's insane. According to the live tracker on Fortnite.gg, the peak number of concurrents on Saturday was 6.2 million players playing at a single time. It's the highest number by far since Epic Games made the live player count available earlier this year.
Now you know how they're able to fund that Epic Game Store shit at a loss.
Oh man, it's just insane. Now this is not the most players that's ever been on at one time. Just the most total in a day. So the most total in a day has been 44.7 million, but it's actually lower than the 12.3 million concurrent players they claimed for the astronomical event with Travis Scott that took place during the COVID lockdowns.
Right.
Do you know about that event that they did with Travis Scott where they had like a fake concert?
Yeah, something like that. I remember them holding some events. They weren't the only one either, but yeah, I had heard about that.
I don't know. I think it's pretty amazing to see what Fortnite has become. They're a game that whether you like it or hate it, and like I said, I have issues with their business practices for sure, but they've been constantly evolving over the past 6 years. It's been nonstop evolution.
Unlike their audience. No. Sorry. I couldn't resist. You teed me up there.
They have been they've done a really interesting thing, and the fact that they decided just to scrap, they didn't scrap everything, but it's definitely a nostalgic thing to go back and go back to the original map. Yeah. Obviously, people were into it. Is there a game that you'd like to see reverted back to kind of an original form after many years of evolution that you played, or maybe I don't know, just any sort of pop culture product that you'd like to see revert back to an old school way of doing things?
Right. Street Fighter. Big time. I'm not a big fan of where Street Fighter has gone at all since Street Fighter 4. I think it's lost its way personally. Yeah, I don't know. I don't play a lot of games as service kind of things, but God, Halo, for Christ's sake. Look how they botched Infinite. How do you mess up Far Cry Halo Edition? Somehow they managed it. They didn't put basic features in it. That would be one, for Christ's sake. There's actually a few now that I think about it.
Street Fighter is actually interesting because I think that's after Street Fighter 4. I felt Street Fighter 4 was the closest thing to Street Fighter 2 that we've had.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot slower, and I wasn't a big fan of that. But it was definitely, and as it went on, it got better. Right, Ultra was better than Super, and so on.
I feel like modern fighting games are almost like rhythm games at this point, where you hit a combo, then it's boom, 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 and you got to insert these combos in.
Thank you.
Right.
I've been saying this for the longest time. It's my big gripe with Mortal Kombat. Right, the prefabbed combos. They bake them. It's like that's not how it used to work. You had to dream up the combos, right? The first time you did the so if you're playing as here's a good Ryu, right? You could combo the Shoryuken punch, right?
Mhm.
You could combo if you put in the input right as he touched the ground, you could do it immediately right after. But that was just something that the gamers found out while they were playing Super Turbo back in the day. Now they bake that into the game. They do focus groups on, ooh, can we put this prefab combo together? Killer Instinct kind of started that. Then
Mhm.
Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and stuff like that kept going down. I'm not a big fan of that as an approach.
Yeah, so it's funny because I think we could do an hour just on like Street Fighter and how much it's changed, man. There's so
Oh,
much
yeah.
there, but yeah, it's crazy to think, and I would love to. I'd love to dig into that more with you for sure. But anyways, so Fortnite, congratulations, you're still making lots of money. Way to go!
Yay!
Nailed it, Blabs. Way to go!
I don't like Fortnite. I think it's so overrated, and I don't understand why everyone freaking hypes about it.
She needs a party popper, is what you. Yes, let's do it.
Let's go to our next story here. This one is kind of interesting. As back in the day, there was two primary mascots in the video game world. There was Mario and there was Sonic.
Yeah.
And Sonic was built to compete with Mario back in the day. And you know what? Did a pretty damn good job. But obviously both have seen a lot of longevity, a lot of success. Mario, I think, is and will always be the face of video games. I think that's pretty well established. But a Sega executive has come out with a very bold statement. This is thanks to VG247, saying that he wants Sonic to, quote, surpass Mario in a recent interview here. So
only in Rule 34.
Ah! Why?
Mario don't even come close in that arena.
Did you have to use the word "come" with Rule 34?
Oh, no.
Do not come. Do not come.
He said Sonic was originally developed to compete with Mario, but it hasn't successfully to this day. Because we respect Mario, our goal is to catch him and surpass him. We want Sonic to be played all over the world, including Japan, just like Mario. And we want the movie to be. I know.
Right?
And we want the movie to be.
Him, hold him down and suffocate him with a pillow. Like, fuck.
Make sure he calls us daddy.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And we want the movie to be a bigger hit than Mario. And we want Universal Studios Japan to build a Sonic area. That's our goal for Sonic lovers. I mean, I think these are all, honestly, like really good goals. But at the same time, let's be realistic about things. I mean, I just don't know if that's the way you want to go. You want to publicly say it, maybe?
Yeah, especially when you're not exactly hot on the heels of a game that has sold as much as the last several Mario titles, right? Like you're just not there yet. Maybe they will one day, but Sonic, I think it is fair to say at this point, now that we have germinated in it for 20 years, Sonic had a very rough transition to 3D, right?
Oh.
Very, very rough. And it took them a while to find something that was even just playable. And they haven't been able to build on that momentum the same way that Mario was, where it was just like banger after banger after banger. After any time there was a 3D Mario title coming out, you didn't even have to question that it was going to be absolute boss. Sonic's not that way, man. Every single time it's a Sonic title, it's like, all right, shall we flip the coin? Is it going to be like mildly tolerable or an abject abortion? An abject back alley Tijuana abortion.
You know what's interesting about this is there's some major differences between the Sonic fan base and the Mario fan base. And I think that one of them is that the Sonic fan base is divided between 3D lovers and 2D. Like there's the classic 2D lovers and there's the ones who like 3D games. I don't necessarily think that's the case in Mario games. I think that while I prefer 2D games, I still play the 3D ones. I still play Odyssey. Do I think Mario 64 is good? Not really. I think in retrospect, people like overrate that game. And I've talked about that in the past when I went through and played it.
And they underrate Sunshine, in my opinion.
Sunshine for me, man, that's interesting because as I did a Mario Funathon and I played through all the Mario games and Mario Sunshine was the game I left off the list and people were like, you need to play Sunshine. And my thought on Sunshine was that like it was so different that I went in with a preconceived negative notion on it, and then I played it for a couple hours on stream one day, but I didn't want to continue playing it because I enjoyed it, that I didn't want to ruin it, because apparently there's parts later in the game where that are very difficult and like just kind of unforgiving, and I didn't want to ruin the positive experience that I had with it. So I'm like, I'm just going to call Sunshine a win and not have to worry about ever playing it again. So, but yeah, I mean, that's this, and I also think that this is people are going to be really pissed at me for saying this. I also think that for the most part, the perception of Sonic fans is that they're a little weird.
I like Sonic.
You think?
They're a little weird. You know? Like,
let's run that by Chris Chan real quick. Let's.
When you see somebody dress up as Mario, they don't look fucking insane. But when you see somebody dress up as
have you seen Movie Bob cosplay of Mario?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But when you see somebody dress up as Sonic, I mean, really, Sonic may have been the intro to the furry fandom thing.
Oh, yeah, it's the dude Sonic. What's her name?
Lola Bunny.
Princess Sally is the face that launched 1,000 furries. Like, unfortunately.
Nah, Lola Bunny totally took that off too from Space Jam.
Oh yeah,
let's go, Lola. Let's go.
And Jessica Rabbit, right?
Oh yeah,
man. The fact, once again, movies that they would never do that today.
Yeah,
never make Jessica Rabbit with her big old titties flopping around and the sound effects.
Mommy milkers.
Yeah. Oh man, spectacular. Anyways, to sum this up,
Craig, you need to be alone for a moment.
Yeah, he's like Lola Bunny, Aruga.
Dude, man, Jessica Rabbit, let's freaking go! Come on.
Someone send Craig a Jessica Rabbit poster, okay?
He had.
It's a
little crispy
it's
now.
All crumpled up. Yeah.
Oh, crusty. I'm good.
Let's move on.
He's like, there are just some things you can't unhear.
Hey, did
playing a lot of patty cake? It's no big deal.
Hey, those who grew up in the 90s before porn was like readily available on the internet, like I remember the first piece of porn I got, and I say it, the first piece of porn that was given to me in middle school. I had a kid give me it was like a picture from a nudie magazine that was like crumpled up. It was put in his pocket, and he's like, here. It was like handing off some drugs. Yeah, it was like, hey, like here you go. And you look and you're like, what is this? You know, it was crazy. I know that I'm
now they're like, hey, you want to see 9 billion pornographic images? I got them all on my phone. No, I think I'll just go sit in the corner and contemplate my eventual death.
Yeah, it's far easier to receive this stuff today. It's crazy. Yeah. Matt W says a crusty cutout. No, it wasn't crusty. It was just rolled up. This kid handed it off.
you hope it wasn't crusty.
I looked at that thing so much. It was like it was amazing. Anyways,
TMI.
Well, what do you want? Well, you want me to lie about it? I'm just telling you.
I don't want to know about it.
This entire conversation makes Jesus cry.
We went from such a nice, wholesome text message from Craig yesterday saying, reminder, the clocks got pushed back. And I was like, thanks, Dad. And now here we are today.
Right.
What do you want me to do? I'm not going to lie about
yesterday.
It's crazy, man. Whatever. Anyways. All right, let's go to our next story.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So over the summer, the big cultural phenomenon was Barbenheimer, the movie Barbie, and the release of was Oppenheimer, released on the same weekend, just absolutely culturally dominating the box offices for weeks. So it was called Barbenheimer. That was the nickname given to it. And that was
the nickname given to the viral marketing campaign.
Yes.
Obviously.
Which once again, brilliant, because what happened was people wanted to support it. They'd go see one and then they go see the other because they were total 180 degrees opposite, and they wanted to keep the train going. It was crazy. Did you see either one of the movies?
It was no Morbius.
No, it was no Morbius.
Morbid time.
Razor,
My
did you-
favorite part was when Barbie said, "It's Barbin time," and then she barbed everywhere.
Did you see Barbie and or Oppenheimer, Razor?
I saw neither. I am very, very pleased with that fact.
Blabs, did you see either?
I've seen neither. I have no interest in either one of them.
Okay. Well,
Did
you don't
you?
need to see. No, I did not see either Barbie or Oppenheimer. Although I did want to see Oppenheimer. It does seem like a movie that would be very intriguing for me.
For me, it was just the fact that it was 3 hours long. I'm like, Jesus Christ. No.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But apparently, somebody has come up with the idea of releasing an actual movie called Barbenheimer, an actual Barbenheimer movie.
Oh no. Is it the Asylum?
It's it says, while the prolific B movie icon freely admits his upcoming feature, it's a scientist doll in Dolltopia who tries to take out humanity with a nuclear bomb. It's Charles Band. Have you ever heard of Charles
Full Moon
Band?
Productions, the people who make Puppet Master.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so does this excite
Yes.
you at all?
Very much. I'll watch it.
Okay. The
Now,
tagline
Full Moon
here.
Productions, guys, it's great. They're the straight to video kings.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The tagline is D Cup A Bomb, which is pretty brilliant if you ask me.
There is going to be so much nudity in this film.
Oh yeah?
That's what Full Moon Productions does.
Okay. Excellent.
It's splatter movies and boobs is what
Okay.
they do.
Says it's 100% true, but it's also an opportunity to have fun with the bizarre coupling of these two movies and the combination of Barbie's vibe and the darkness of Oppenheimer. You mix
Yep.
that together, and you have such an opportunity for dark humor. I mean, it sounds
I
pretty
want it to
amazing.
be great. Yeah, that
They
sounds like
make
fun, man.
low key. They make very good movies, actually, especially for the budget and whatnot.
Now, what is this company called?
Full Moon Productions. They did. You ever watch any of the Puppet Master movies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
them.
Okay. Yeah, just a quick glance at the movies that they've done over the course of their career. Yeah, Puppet Master from back in the day.
They did Robot Wars, kind of the BattleTech movies, basically. Robot Jocks, that kind of stuff.
Been around for a long time, since 1989, and these are like direct to video or direct to DVD or maybe direct to Netflix or whatever. But
Yeah,
this one,
they were the original Asylum, basically. Like Sharknado guys, those guys. Like basically the original one of those.
well, they did a movie back in 2020 called Barbie and Kendra Storm Area 51.
I believe it.
Sounds pretty amazing. They did another movie in 2022 called Attack of the 50-Foot Cam Girl.
Jesus Christ.
Another one from 2022.
I saw one starring Leslie Jones called Attack of the 50-Ton Cam Girl.
Oh no. Another one called Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bowl-O-Rama 2, meaning that
Yes,
there was
I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
implying that there was a Sorority Babes in the Slime Bowl Bowl-O-Rama
Right?
1. Right?
Oh man, I didn't see the first one. I was totally lost.
Oh my gosh. Well, look, I got to be honest. Kind of on board with this. On board with this idea. So,
No, I'm
Great.
telling you, Full Moon make great bad movies. So if you like bad movies, you probably will enjoy it. Legit.
and they'll probably make it for like $100,000. And
Oh yeah, it'll
kill
be
it.
made on a budget of like a couple of butterscotch candies and some pocket lint. Like,
And maybe it'll be better than what's coming out for the Oscars and stuff.
probably.
it'll win something for sure. All right, I'll tell you, we got a couple more stories here, but before we do that, I gotta let you know, Blabs, dude has come in with the $100
Woo!
Rumble rant. Says, yeah, squeeze those nipples. Let's go. Says,
Well,
dude says, not you, Blabs, Razor. Dude says, I want to hear Blabs sing the part of Down with the Sickness that's removed from the radio version with a Chinese accent. will be more entertaining than anything Fortnite has done.
What is
So
that?
I don't
There's
know
not
what
one with more than
China.
emeralds in it.
China.
you need the
Do it.
so this is the thing that with a $100 direct donation or super chat, Blabs sings songs for us now, Razor.
Yeah, you got to look
And-
it up. And then
Yep.
you got to give us your best Miss Swan from Mad TV.
I'll be honest, but like, I mean, I sang this one a couple weeks ago, but what's the part that's not on the radio? Because I never hear the song on the radio.
These are great questions that I don't know.
Oh,
Blab.
is there an that you could look up
Yeah.
the uncut lyrics? Look up
Alright,
the
uncut.
unrated lyrics then.
Mhm.
The non-parental advisory.
Yes.
It's gonna be the exact same thing.
Okay, well, just do your best and give them the good stuff. And
right. So what's the accent again? I'll do it right now if you want.
a
Do the-
Chinese
do the-
accent.
You better give us the give us the
Sounds like I'm burping.
yeah, she sounds like a waterlogged Pinto.
A Chinese accent. All right.
Blabs, are you ready?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one is. I'll do that bit because that's like the one I know, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, remember, replace the L's with R's and the R's with L's. Okay, that's how this works. with the
Okay.
Chinese accent. What? What do you want?
What?
Just go, Blabs, go.
Hi. I feel like Stevie Wonder. Anyway, R's with the L's and L's with the R's. Okay.
Sure.
Chinese accent. Get up, come on, get down with the. There's no R's and L's in here. Hang on, let me find some. All right, open up your hate and let it throw into me. How do you do this? Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. There's no R's and L's in this song. Let me find more. Okay, please hold. This is like I need like I'm putting back. Hang on. Look at this. Wait. Okay, yeah, go to Craig instead. Oh, it says no, mommy, don't do it again. What kind of fucking song is this?
Yeah. No, mommy, don't do it again. Yeah. That's right. That is the part. That is the part that's cut because there's like abuse in it. That's right. It used to be on it, and they cut it out because guess what? Kids can't hear that stuff anymore because whatever. Right? Yeah.
All right.
No,
Really?
mommy.
Yeah. The song
Remember
about
that?
Give Me More.
By the way, dude, look at it right there, dude.
Oh.
I'm failing at this, dude. I'm sorry. We need Melanie for this part. All right.
Wow, that's starting to look like a flow chart for the fake moon landing. Well, you see, over here's the Bilderbergs, and over here's the Trilateral Commission.
All right, let me try this Asian bit. All right, hang on. Boop.
Blast,
Hello.
make it happen.
Right, I'm trying my bestest. No, mommy, don't do it again. Ting tong, do it again. I'll be a good boy. Wait, I'll be a good boy. I'll be a good boy. I promise. No, mommy, don't hit me. Why did you have to hit me like that, mommy? Don't do it. You're hurting me. Why did you have to be such a bitch? Ching chong wada bing. You know, sometimes I wonder if people name their children by dropping utensils down the stairs. I'm just saying.
Oh. So Blabs just committed a hate crime.
There you go, dude. Thank you very much for that and getting Blabs canceled. Way to go, Dawson.
Thanks, guys.
Remember, as was said before by Razor, this is a two-way street.
Did you hear about the contest in China they recently conducted?
Oh no, tell me more
what?
about it, Razor.
Yeah, it was a look-alike contest. Everybody won. Anyway, so let's continue.
Let's go ahead and get to some of these super chats here. Let's get to all the super chats here. Appreciate y'all's support as we finish up the show. Zedekiah says, coffee is glorified dirt water. I agree.
I think Mike calls it bean juice.
Bean water.
Mm-hmm.
Mercenary says, I don't drink coffee. Caffeine makes me sleepy. Mercenary, that's weird. It's supposed to do the
It
opposite
does
there.
work that way for some people. Yeah, it's kind of like Ritalin that way.
Oh. Emperor Creatine says, some of Rocket's best work was covering the Kenosha kid 2 years ago. Best coverage and commentary panel on a trial I've ever seen. Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're talking about Ricada. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that helped him blow up, and the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff was when his channel really blew up. He's got to be salivating about Trump trials. He's got to be.
I will absolutely ask.
And I don't blame him.
Sal says Santa decided to go blackface this year. Yes, talking about
Santa's canceled.
unreal. I mean, once again, here's Santa. We saw him in a wheelchair at Target as part of this year's woke Christmas. Congratulations, Santa. Way to go. Spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Yes, go get those Rumble rants real quick.
All right. So Generalissimo Liberty for $10. I was in the hospital for a week and I started getting headaches 2 days in and discovered it was caffeine withdrawal. Evil stuff. Free basing it for 40 years. Wow. And then he comes back in for $2 and says, no, we are being force fed. I'm assuming that's for the games that we play. And then he comes back in for $2 and says, Simpsons did it to death. Oh my. And then that Don Parker for $1 says, it's that damn ARF man's fault. Worst robot master ever. And scrolling. There's the 100. Thanks, dude. It's scrolling. Kratos for $5 says, Craig, Sonic fans are a little weird. Blabs, I like Sonic. I think this surprises nobody. But I mean, I've only played that one Sonic game and I have not seen the Sonic movies, so I don't know. Bentley for $10 says, I'm currently glad I have side-scrollers playing in my headphones instead of through our van while driving my 2 children side-scrollers after dark.
There you go, Shane. Love it.
And then Cryptic for not $5 says, I give Blabs an Asian pass, just not jaundice. Thanks, man.
There you go. Oh, good for you, Blabs. You're not canceled anymore. Great.
I need
Mercedes
X-ray
says,
off this.
I got into a fight with a Wookiee on Twitter because he called Razor and me chodes. Same old. Also, Razor getting ready for work and wildfire in area. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well,
I'm getting ready to wrangle some cattle.
That a boy. Matthew says, Craig needs to try Barry's Tea Gold blend. It's an amazing blend tea from Ireland. Add a little cream and it's fantastic. Nope. I'm done with coffee.
One and done.
Amoro Ray says, how many cups of coffee do I have now? I am coffee now.
Right.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Hardcore Bunny came in with a 2. Says, I can't consume caffeine or chocolate. God kill me. Orthodox Monk says, movie quote of the day. Put it up to 11. Spinal Tap.
This one goes to 11.
So back in the old Screw Attack days, we allowed people to rank videos 1 through 10, but we gave people 111.
I remember this.
Yes. 111 every single day, and they can only use it on one video. So sometimes on the bottom of the video, you get a rating of like 8.7, but some videos would have like a 10.6, which I always thought was super funny. So
no, I totally forgot about that until you mentioned it.
It was so stupid and so silly. I loved it. Mercenary says, so glad I got Razor RoboCop.
Discernment, I think he means.
Yes. I'm glad you're enjoying your RoboCop there, Mercenary. Blake says, Kwanzaa Cougar Karen. There you go.
Yes.
Don't look into the alliteration, though.
No, don't. Mercenary came back with 2. Says, yes, I need 2. Yes, I need to send Razor Games. Keeps dread away. Thank you, Mercenary. And Gridiron Master says, incredible stupidity apparently advances causes. Yes, that is correct. Stupidity. Com came in with a member for 13 months. Says all these activists are the same. Rather than being the change in the world, they use it as an excuse to be absolute clowns and try to control people. Oh yeah, we see it every single day. Animate Acumen came in and says coffee, asparagus, and Taco Bell do it all. As far as
Taco Bell does a lot more than that.
Mercenary says my only energy drink I have is only water. Period. Good for you. Dirt is King says the game of the year is the coffee in Andy and Lily. It is true. Coffin of Andy and Lily. Okay, I haven't heard of that before, but thanks, Dirt is King. Wheeling Through Life with Brian says, it's white. They should have included all races and disabilities, but this is not needed. Speaking of the wheelchair Santa, once again, he said, I'm white. Sorry.
I'm like, with this white?
So once again, the glasses making me uneligible.
Right.
Can't read.
Sure,
can't
Stevie.
read. Really?
Sure.
Thank you, Brian. Agamemnon Fireman came in and says, Razor, are you coming to Oaks, Pennsylvania for the Alice Cooper signing at Monster Mania? Craig, are you going to visit the East Coast at some point? 2, I was able to meet Ben, Chad, and Sam many moons ago. You first, Razor.
No, I was lucky, and I'm not going to have to. I was lucky enough to score tickets for the first time in my life to a crazy event that Alice only does here in Arizona around Christmas time. So
Wow.
I'm going to be right next to him and whoever he brings. Every year he'll bring a different guest. Last year, I think it was Rob Zombie and Johnny Depp were there, and so and the venue is like super small and intimate, like it's just for Phoenix. And the stage is right in the center of the room. It's badass. So I finally got tickets to that after years of trying to get him. He's been doing it for like 20 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And I'll be on the East Coast after, I'll be in Florida actually, hanging out with the Geeks and Gamers folks after Thanksgiving this year. So at
He was
the tail
going
end
to
of
say
this month.
Halloween.
I was going to say Halloween, yeah. So yes, I'll be in Florida, but nowhere up on the northern East Coast. Blake says homecoming or homo coming. Thank you, Blake. Stompa says, hey, Craig, been a fan since the Screw Attack days. You guys were the ECW gaming. Keep doing your thing, bro.
Who is the Sandman then?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you what. That's a nice little analogy for sure. And I wish that I had all the zeros in my bank account that Paul Heyman did. I'll tell you that much. Wolfsbane says they also said that they will bring Silk into the fold. Are they going to do the phenomenon thing?
Pheromone.
Pheromone thing. But with Miles instead of Peter. I don't know, Wolfsbane. These are all great questions to ask, and I'm sure that we'll have answers to those in the next 2 to 4 years when the next game comes out. Thank you. Mercenary comes back, says October 31st, Razor equals Cooer, Babs or Blabs equals Kruger, Craig equals affirmative share trying to be Razor Fist. So stunning and brave of everyone.
What?
Me, I was a Half-Life head crab. Oh, speaking of, you're talking about Halloween. Yes. Did you like my Halloween costume of you?
I did. I thought you did. I agree. It was kind of Cher a little bit, or maybe Brett the Hitman Hart.
See, yeah, Crazy T asked that for 100 bits on Twitch. If Razor liked Craig's outfit.
Yes. No, I certainly appreciate it. I went as the Shadow. I had been meaning to go as the Shadow for a long time. So
you mean like the Shadow Knows that one?
Yes.
Oh, that was such a horrible movie back in the 90s. Man.
Oh, it's a great movie. Fuck you. Great movie.
The most intense we heard.
No, one of my favorites.
Oh man, maybe I need to. Was it Alec Baldwin who was in that? Is that who
yes,
it was?
unfortunately.
Yeah. I need to go back and watch it. I remember laughing at that as a kid, going like, "The Shadow Knows." It just thinking it was so stupid.
Oh, it's amazing.
Hardcore Bunny says the Black Santa was shot by the cops for trying to stab.
Jesus.
Luckily they didn't. Okay, there you go. Thanks. Hardcore Bunny. Lewis came in and says the last Spider-Man game I played was Ultimate Spider-Man on PlayStation 2. I didn't know if it was a good game or not with my nostalgia bias. Yeah, I think a lot of people look back on Ultimate Spider-Man 2 as a good game. Miku says
there were some good Spider-Man games in the early 2000s. I remember the first movie game not being bad, actually, like 02 or something like that, whenever that was.
Yeah, there were a lot of nowadays they look primitive, but you go back and there's nostalgia for some of those games for sure.
They had the same kind of basic mechanics as the new ones. You know what I mean? They had the wall swing, the swinging from buildings and open world and stuff. Like those early games all had that.
Yep. Miku says, I need a PlayStation 5 for Ratchet. Oh, wait, now it's on Steam. There you go, Miku. Cody came in with the 2, says, so how about a VTMB?
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Masquerade 2, I'm not sure what is going on. Is that some kind of spin-off or?
I don't know. Cody, do tell.
Oh, Bloodlines 2. He's saying Bloodlines 2, the new game that's going to come out. So for those who don't really follow, if you didn't play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, it's a really underrated vampire RPG from like 2004. It was a total mess getting put together, and it sounds like the sequel is carrying on the legacy. They had to fire the whole development team and remake it again. And now they've actually showed a little gameplay trailer, and it looks like Vampire Dishonored. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look particularly amazing. And it looks very woke, folks. It looks like, and I mean, Vampire the Masquerade sometimes in the RPGs could get a little that way, but I don't know, man. I have a feeling people are going to be talking about this in the same way they are, say, Spider-Man 2 right now.
Wilson came in and says, Razor, thanks for the Elric recommendations. I've been listening to the audiobooks. It's been excellent so far. Also, I don't know, I'll let you read that because I don't even know what that says.
Targaryens.
Yeah, the Targaryens, the guys from Game of Thrones, aren't they just Melnibonéans? Melnibonéans are a race of... Yes, they are. Melnibonéans are from Elric. Yeah, they absolutely are. George R.R. Martin is a huge fan of Elric, and he and the author of Elric are buddies. So it's a homage.
Oh yes. Dan came in, says, I stopped watching The Simpsons when the movie came out, and I rewatched it again on the worst episode. And I rewatched it again on the worst episode I've ever watched was Lisa Goes Gaga. Oh, that's with the Lady Gaga one, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. The Simpsons has always had a history of incorporating celebrity into their show, but I just feel like it's gotten considerabely worse over the years. Like it's always,
Cringy, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, they used to think about how they were gonna like introduce someone, and sometimes if they had an episode about a celebrity and they were actually going to be funny about it, they wouldn't hire the celebrity because they were going to have to shit on him, right? Like, I doubt they reached out to George H.W. Bush to see if he wanted to be in that episode where him and Homer are going back. That was a great episode, by the way.
That was a really good episode.
The only episode I've ever seen was when they had Daniel Radcliffe, who played Harry Potter, pretend to be a vampire because back in the day, remember Harry Potter and Twilight were always competing against each other in the box office and everything. So they had him on. That's the one episode I ever saw. You're welcome.
Good
for this knowledge.
Good for you, Blabs. South Park has taken the crown from The Simpsons. I agree. There's actually quite a few shows that have taken the crown from The Simpsons, but South Park is definitely a king. Darian came into the 499 says, sending out some good thoughts for Melanie Mack, who was attacked for her beliefs on Simocast last night and ended up leaving the show.
Yeah.
Oh, was that Simcast or Simocast? Yeah.
The Simcast, it should be.
I saw another guest we've had on the show. He was going after a sex. I hate the term sex worker. A prostitute, a porn lady,
a porn whore.
Yes, Alex Stein was going after and went after her pretty hard, and that was pretty funny.
And how was this the only episode I wasn't invited to? Like, I mean,
have you been on that before?
That wouldn't have ended well. What?
Have you been on that show before?
Oh yeah.
Oh, awesome.
No, a couple of times.
Good.
Yeah, and they had a couple of porn skanks on the show, I think, at the same time. But one of them was rational, semi-rational, and the other was not. They were not pleased about being told that they were essentially prostitutes. Which,
I mean, what did they expect they were?
Well, I mean, they always go back to, well, my bank account looks great, and it's like, yeah.
Do your morals look great too?
Well, that's not even it. I feel, and I've said this before, I think OnlyFans is actually more insidious than the old school porn industry. Because back in the day, you would have to, in order to get into the porn industry, yeah, you'd make all your money, but you'd have to move out to California. You'd have to sign a bunch of waivers. You'd have to join some agency a lot of times. You'd have to take a bunch of blood tests. By the time you get to that, most of the smart girls have wised up and gone, oh shit, this isn't wise. I'm going to turn around and go back home. Right. OnlyFans is beamed right into your living room. There is no thought process there of, wait a minute, once this is out there, I can't undo this. This is going to be a problem. I completely agree with that. I think it's actually more insidious in a way. And I don't think a lot of these girls are kind of emotionally and mentally prepared for the fact that, like, once it's out there, that's it. Right. You're not going to be able to take that back.
I mean, we've all done stupid things when we're younger. Everybody's done stupid things. But have you put your...
I played Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, for example.
Right. Yeah, right. Like, but was it broadcast? And did you show your butthole doing so?
Right?
You know, just throwing it out there. So,
No.
Jake came in with the 2, says, hope all is well today. Thanks, Jake. Things are great. Appreciate that. Alan came in, says, made a shitty pee-pee comment to meme. Have a great Monday, everyone. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. Matthew came back with the $4.99, says, original Simpsons writers left after season 4. Didn't some Simpsons writers go to Futurama?
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would definitely make sense. Captain Mercury says, who knows? Maybe Chris Benoit was a Simpsons fan. That's a good cut. Talking about Homer choking is okay.
Right.
That's good. God damn.
I don't remember Homer leaving a Bible next to the body. I don't remember.
No. God, that's fucked up. Mercenary says, Jackson is innocent. Spielberg is not innocent.
No.
Peter came in and says, the MrBeast story basically boils down to rich people shouldn't help people. That's the job of the corrupt and ineffective government. Right.
There you go.
I'm wondering, what is MrBeast's net worth? Babs, can you do a quick Google on that? Because he says everything he makes, he puts back into his product, but he has to support a lot of people. He's got a big team doing that. So Blake says, blessings the rains down in Africa. No longer enough. That's right.
Apparently it's 500 million. 500
million for, wow, sweet Jesus. M16 Mojo says, he wanna fix your grammar, bro. Yeah. Well.
But it's also saying 100 million. So he has at least 100 million. Let's say that. At least.
Good for him, man. Good for him. Wolfsbane says, I want another Soul Calibur's game.
Yeah, me too. I want them to stop fucking with the move lists, though, between games. It seems like every game, all my characters change their moves. It drives me nuts. Tekken's kind of like that, too.
When did Tekken peak for you?
Ooh. 5, maybe
Ooh.
6, maybe something like that. 5, 6, right in that territory.
Right.
I had the joystick and everything for the PS2.
Oh yeah, nice. Danny came in and says, my favorite Homer choking bit was the one of the first seasons where Homer regrows his hair with the miraculous miracle cure. Bart spills it. Homer pounces, growling, "Boy must die." There's one where he's choking him, and I think as he's choking him, they're actually like having a conversation, or Bart's having a conversation with somebody else. I don't remember. I remember thinking that was really funny though.
I love the one where Child Protective Services is looking in on them, and Marge is trying to like calm them down and turn them away, like there's nothing to see here, whatever. And then all of a sudden Homer is chasing Bart through the backyard with a Morning Star, and he's shouting, "I'll make you good."
So ridiculous. It's outstanding.
Yes.
Maxwell JW says, unrelated, but I would kill for a remaster of the original Blazing Angels game with Ace Combat 7 graphics. That is very unrelated, Maxwell. Thank you for that. Orthodox Monks came in with the 2, says, we all knew Shaq Fu was the best fighting game.
Yes.
Kay says, I love 2D and 3D Sonic so much. Sonic Superstars, the latest title, was the worst Sonic game I ever played. Their goals aren't realistic. Thank you, Kay. Appreciate that greatly. And sorry you're from Canada. Sir Ubi-san says, what makes Sonic more popular than Mario? Nothing will ever will.
Wow.
Animate Acumen says, look, man, every Sally enjoyer is just trying to catch catch a what?
Trying to catch a nut.
Catch a nut. Thank you. Appreciate that. Matthew came back with the $4.99, says, supposedly Mario Sunshine had a hard release date and was released unfinished. I think Nintendo learned their lesson and did not do that going forward. That's interesting. I never heard that before. Thank you, Matthew. Sergi came in and says with the 10, says, hey Razor, what's a song that makes you harder than the lost levels?
Than Super Mario the Lost Levels.
Yeah.
Oh shit. You know what? It may just be Judas Priest, Painkiller.
There you go. Hard as a rock.
It's a basic bitch choice, but it's true.
Zinch says, if you don't drink coffee, you ain't a man.
You ain't a man.
Well, I now identify as a woman.
Femboy
apparently.
Craig.
Now you're a male. Man, a
Man, oh, man, oh, man. Now you're the man. Sorry.
Femboy.
Yes.
Miku says Sonic can make inroads with the black community and gain popularity. His dad's in
Oh
jail
my
now, too.
god.
All right, Miku. Damn it. All right.
I got a couple Rumble rants. Hang on.
Let me
a
finish these
second.
off real quick.
All right.
Some Chandler says, I can't get the thought of Blabs being Razor's little sister out of my head.
I don't know.
We don't even look alike.
That's just because she's got sunglasses on.
Yeah, obviously. Anyone who has sunnies on are actually related.
Yep. Me and Stevie Wonder. Fucking. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I wear contacts, so I'm halfway there. Can't see.
Emperor Creatine says, the last bit of news I remember about Simpsons before today was when they had the squad thing. Saying about how much they hated Trump. Is that a thing? Did that really happen?
Yeah, that aged like yogurt on a water heater, did it not? Holy fuck.
Wow.
That was terrible.
Very descriptive. Yogurt on a water heater.
Elite Neo says Final Fantasy Mystic Quest had a banger of a soundtrack, though.
All the Final Fantasy games have pretty good soundtracks.
Sir Cool came in with the 5, says the best Homer choking bit is the one where he chokes Bart. Then Abe Simpson. Yes, this is what I'm thinking about. Then Abe Simpson comes over and chokes Homer, making a generational strangle chain. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yes, absolutely.
As was the style at the time.
And Matthew came in with the $20 super chat. Says you forgot that OnlyFans is very predatory. The whole purpose is to attract lonely men to pay for subscription service, so a woman can talk to them and do things to them that a woman won't do in real life. Oh yeah, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. All right, Blast, fire away.
All right, so Generalissimo Liberty came back for $2 and says sorry for the out of context post, no problem. Comes back again, says for $5. Wrangle cattle, going to see Katie Hobbs.
You gonna wrangle that cattle and go see Katie Hobbs, huh?
I don't think there's a lasso big enough.
Dude for $1 says Family Guy had a great episode with Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
He died a couple years ago. Last year.
Back when they were still somewhat fair. They brought Rush Limbaugh on, and contrary to all the people who claimed Rush Limbaugh couldn't take a joke about himself, he made fun of himself on The Simpsons.
There you go.
That was pretty good.
All right. Well, that was awesome. Like I said, there's some stories we missed, but you know what? That was great. Do we have any memes today, Blabs?
We don't have any memes today. Oh, wait, never mind. We just got one just now. Look at
Blabs
that.
is a meme.
I am the meme. What are you talking about?
Meme.
All right. I am literally the living meme. Okay. This is from Op, and he says, I'm sorry, Craig. Coffee,
What?
you're my only friend.
Look at NC flawed.
Oh, no.
Really fucked up, Op. It's really fucked up, man. Just gonna throw that out there.
Cappuccino cleansing right there.
Damn, Op. The fuck, man. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for your support today. We genuinely appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on your way out. I'll be live over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel, which just passed 4,000 subscribers over on YouTube, by the way, as I'm going to be finishing up Mega Man 7 today. I'm playing Dr. Wily, and I'm starting with oven mitts on. I'll have oven mitts on to start Dr. Wily's Castle. So make sure you guys show up for that. Thanks to CEO on Friday for that. So join me over there. That'll be around 2 o'clock Central Time, about an hour from now. I look forward to seeing you guys there. And obviously, you guys can find Razor. Now, you have a new video up, Razor. I noticed it's not on YouTube. I saw somebody mentioning that. Is it on the other platforms that's not on YouTube?
It's processing right now on Rumble. Apparently, Rumble takes even longer to process than YouTube, but it'll be up today. It's the long-awaited Metal Mythos episode, a complete career review and documentary combined of Alice Cooper.
Wow.
It is 2 hours and 30 minutes. He has 29 albums, folks. It's huge.
Wow. That's crazy. So it's like a full doc. That's going to be huge.
Yeah,
That'll
it's
be huge.
massive.
Man, can't wait to see that. That's great. And what time does that go live?
It's currently processing, so whenever it's done, it'll be sometime today.
And what about is YouTube still processing as well?
YouTube it's in copyright purgatory. So it'll go up on Rumble. Then after it's done processing on Rumble, I'll put it up on BitChute.
Excellent. Excellent. Very cool. Yeah, YouTube, you can still get away with fun stuff like that. Real quick before we go, sorry, Grundy, I missed this real quick. Says, hey, Razor, I had a lot of fun participating in your fan art contest. It makes me even more hyped for your comic. Can't wait to see that sweet monochrome style in my hands.
Nice.
And followed up with says, would you ever consider a music mythos from Skillet? Every album of theirs is such a banger, but by far my favorites are Comatose and Dominion.
Yeah, I'd love to. There's some Skillet albums even I haven't heard yet, so I dig it. I like them.
Animate Acumen says, Blabs.
I gotta say this. I gotta say this.
Sure.
Look at me. I am the meme now. Yeah.
Gotta work on that Somali accent.
Oh, wait, hang on. I gotta do that. That's right. Look at me. I am the boss now. Wait, he says captain, so I gotta do meme. I got this. Look at me. I am the meme now. I did it.
Do you know the way?
Dork. What a dork.
I got no memes. I got no bitches. Like, I'm a dork. I'm sorry.
See, that was cultural appropriation. We got it. That guy on Twitter. We got to do that correctly. All right. Are you guys ready? Okay.
Generalissimo Liberty came in with the $2 over on Rumble. Says, Clank, watch Razor's Alice Cooper vid. It is awesome. Watch it for the makeup. There you go. Hey, you know, one other thing, you know, we're about to roll out, but since I won't see you for a week, actually, Razor, I want to throw this your way. Do you know my brother's a musician? Are you familiar with my brother at all? No. So my brother is a
Bruce Springsteen.
Musician. No, he goes by 5 times August over on Twitter, and he's
sweet. Yeah, I know him. I follow him.
Okay, he's very anti-poke and very
I saw him dump on D. Snyder almost as hard as I did.
Okay, I wanted to get your thoughts on that. The idea.
Yeah, I did a video a long time ago. Fucking Snyder is he's gone from we're not going to take it to we're going to take it like a whore, and he's been that way for some time. I did a video about this when he first came out about the fucking vaccine mandates and every other fucking thing. This was, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, something like that, maybe 2 years ago. Everything I have to say about Snyder is in that video. He's an absolute joke. And it's honestly to the point where he was so all in, he just can't admit he was wrong. No, he won't even admit some of the stuff that the CDC has come out and admitted at this point. He can't bring himself to do it. It's absurd. He wanted to virtue signal when it was popular. And now that there's social consequences for having done so, he's just backed into a corner. He doesn't know what to say. Right.
It was interesting to kind of watch that interaction from him. You know, the idea, we won't take it. We won't take it anymore to give me more, daddy. So anyway, so I'm glad.
It's just like see also Rage Against the Machine.
Oh yeah. My brother's going hard on Tom Morello right now for sure. So anyways, all right. It's crazy. It's such a crazy world we live in. All these rockers. By the way, if you haven't, like my brother's latest song, it's called "Ain't No Rock and Roll." Give it a listen. I think you'll enjoy it because he goes hard on everybody in there. Just calls them all fucking sellouts and stuff. It's spectacular.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here, guys. I'm sorry.
No. Whereas Alice Cooper is based quite.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes. All right, let's get out of here, guys. I'll see you guys over on the Plays channel in a little bit. Obviously, go watch Razor's video over on Rumble when it debuts later this afternoon. Razor, would you like to take us out, my friend?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. God fucking speed, partner.